PWR members, Al Ricky here with another Power Minute. Today we're live from Old Town Orange in the Old Town Diner with two realtor friends of mine, Stephen Mead and Phil Jones. Welcome.
Thank you.
Stephen, tell us about the market.
Well, changes in the air, Al. We are definitely noticing some differences in the market than what we've seen in the last few months. And I think there's a PW report and there's a statistic that I found. It's in the monthly trends report and it's on page 10 and it's called percent of original list price received. So basically it says what did it sell, what did the property sell for versus their original list price. For the last 12 months, that number has been going up. It started at 97% back in August of 2012, and in June it peaked at over 100%, which is huge. That means on average, homes were selling for above list price. But July brought about a change. For the first time in 12 months, for single family homes, it dropped 0.4%. It might not sound like much, but that is a huge corner to turn. And I think it's illustrated really well. There's a graph on here that I think just completely says it. You can see it right there. You can see the numbers are starting to drop.
First time it points down.
Exactly. You see up, 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 and then a turn. And to me, what that means is that demand might be softening a little bit with rising interest rates, but it also means that perhaps sellers are getting a little bit overinflated on some of their asking prices, and the market isn't in line with those asking prices anymore. That's definitely something that's changing, and it means a different strategy for agents that are representing buyers and sellers alike.
So we couldn't continue that trend forever, right?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much. Okay. Phil, tell us about the Long Beach area. What's going on there?
Thanks, Al. You know, I just listening to what Stephen was saying. I think what we're seeing in Long Beach probably will speak to this whole element. We've seen the previous April, May, and June. We've seen small incremental increases in our inventory, but in July we saw a 20% increase in inventory over the corresponding month of 2012, of July of 2012. So we're also seeing, I think, what's having an impact on the trending of ask price to list price is that there's more inventory, there's more to choose from. Buyers don't have the sense of urgency, and I think the sellers need to be more realistic in looking at where they're pricing the properties. What we're doing as realtors, we have to educate the sellers because they continue to read old news. They're reading news that's, in the LA Times, Orange County Register, talking about, this overheated appreciation. It's not as overheated as it was 2 to 3 months ago. July in Long Beach, median price appreciation was 15% compared to 26.5% in May. So we're seeing a cooling in the pricing as well because of the increase of inventory.
And of course, when sellers read that, they only remember what they want to remember, and that is that the market's heating up. And based on Stephen's numbers and your numbers, it's kind of cooling off a little bit.
It is, and I think that the realtors have PWR reports on PWR.net to go to and use as a tool to help educate those sellers. And they have to let them know that the news is old news. PWR reports is current data.
And the numbers don't lie.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're sellers, a lot of times if you have news that's not what they want to hear, they're a little reluctant to believe it, and that's what makes it great. You have something in writing, you have graphs that are easy to read. If things are going up and then they've leveled off, that's a pretty clear message that the market's changing a little bit. So I love having these reports, especially when we have a client that maybe doesn't quite see it the same way we do. They've read something in the newspaper just that morning, they've got the article in hand. Remember, that data is old, and these tools allow us to do our job and relay some of that experience that we have in the market as agents.
Well, that's interesting, and it's important to realize how the market's reacting to the inventory that we're now receiving, I guess.
And sellers like third-party endorsement of, someone else, verifying what the sales associates are saying. Right. They like that endorsement. They like looking at the anecdotal evidence that PWR Report provides us.
And as I said before, the PWR Report is exclusive to Pacific West members only, for our members to use for their clients.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Well, goodbye.
Tell you what, this has been a great session. I'm glad you could come to the diner today and we could talk about the real estate market. And Phil, you remember these?
I do. In fact, I just saw one, My Boy Flat Top. reminds me of myself there.
There you go. All right.
Can we start our shakes?
You sure
Can we
can.
dig in? Thank
Sure
you,
can.
Al.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. And that wraps up another Power Minute. And remember, you make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give. Bye for now. Okay, you know the other thing we may want to do, you want to bring like